Wassup people, welcome back to Cricfootz. We are back again, and this time we are trying to do something different. We are trying to have a live stream. So as you can see, Sai Krishna is up and running here, and he's with me. So we both have planned that since we have not shot any video for game week 4 January, so we are going to do a live session and try to discuss what happened in the games in game week 4 and see what the teams have done in their respective matches. And also, as you know, it's the international break going on, and the Premier League is back this Saturday. So we're going to build up to the exciting games which are coming up. So, Sai, how are you? How's Hyderabad?
Not pretty good after the game week third, you see, for obvious reasons.
Yes, Manchester
Hyderabad
United took a
is good.
bashing.
Yes, Hyderabad is good. Heavy rains over here, but we are all safe out here. How's Dublin? How are you?
Yeah, I'm surprised that Hyderabad is experiencing the weather of Dublin. It always rains here, but yeah, Hyderabad. I hope all of you are safe there, and
Yes,
I
yes.
think the rain has it's better now. I think it's cleared now.
Yeah, it's better now. I think within next 2 days things will be back here. So the game week five is up, going to
Yeah,
start tomorrow, and let's have a build up and brush up for all the fans on what happened in game week four because of the long international break. People aren't in touch with the Premier League score lines and things which happened
yeah.
in game week four. Some big results, some huge upsets. So let's get into the action. Let's start with Chelsea versus Crystal Palace.
Oh, that was so. Wherever any team plays against Crystal Palace, especially when my team Arsenal plays, I'm always nervous. I think they have always had a very strong team, and I actually expected this to be a draw, but Chelsea played some really good football. I think
Correct.
Ben Chilwell had a great home debut, right? It was his debut
Right.
at Stamford Bridge, and what a goal! To be really honest, I watched a lot of minutes of this game, and I think the defense of Crystal Palace was very disappointing. I think the way
Correct.
they defended the ball, they gave away two penalties. Uh, Suddenly, VAR is giving us so many penalties to watch, which is sad. I would prefer
Yes.
on-field goals much more than penalties. But yeah, 4-0, great win for Chelsea. What do you think?
Absolutely. You see, Ben Chilwell had a good start after a dreadful performance by Alonso in the previous game, making so many
Yeah,
mistakes. There was a much need of a left back, and Ben Chilwell, their new signing, had a great game, scored one goal, gave an assist. I think no better way to start his campaign for Chelsea.
yeah, yeah. And we also saw that when Chelsea they did get two penalties, and there was no chance for Timo Werner to open the scoring. So that's
Yes, yes.
unfortunate for that striker. He
I
could have easily opened his account. I think he had a good
correct.
chance in the first half though. Kyle Havertz trying to
Yes,
pass it to him on the left wing.
correct.
I think a striker of his capability should have finished that. I think he missed it. Shot
Absolutely,
straight to the
yes.
goalkeeper.
And I was expecting Jorginho to give his penalty to Werner, but that didn't happen. I think the things are very clear over there who's going to take the set pieces. And I think it's a good win for Chelsea. It is a much
Yeah,
necessary win for them after defeat to Liverpool and a draw against West Brom. A very much needed victory for them. And they are under scrutiny for every game you see after spending so much. It is really important for them to perform well. But I would like to ask you, where do you think ZH will fit in this team because I think Lampard's and Mason Mount will play a lot of games. It looks like Abraham is going to play some games. There's some changes in the midfield as well. So, do you think ZH fitting in the team?
yeah. I think I've heard from some of the Chelsea fans that Ziyech is starting next game. I don't know how much that is true, but Chelsea, Frank Lampard has invested in a great talent. I think Arsenal was also heavily linked with Ziyech in the past few transfer windows, and investing so much into a player who is very tricky and has a lot of skills up his sleeve. I think even if he doesn't fit in, the Lampard will try to get him a spot anywhere in the
Correct.
pitch and especially in the wings. So I think he'll be a great addition. I think it will be a good value for the Premier League to have a player like Ziyech, and Chelsea
True.
playing Southampton in their next game at home. Juicy encounter. I think they can easily
Absolutely.
get all the 3 points.
They even have their captain America, who's not fit now. But
Yeah,
you see, once the whole squad is back, it will be really
yeah.
nice to see how they gel up and how the players go against each other.
Exactly. I think Chelsea has all the ingredients except the defense. I'm not just convinced about the defense. I know they have brought Ben Chilwell. I hope he does well. Uh, had a poor season with Leicester last season. But Thiago Silva, I don't know if he's in his prime and coming in the Premier League
Yeah.
at such an old age. I don't know. I don't know how he will be getting on with the Premier League. But yes, let's see how they do. I don't think Lampard is the man, but let's see. let's see. Let's see what Chelsea can end up. I think they should win the Premier League according to the
Absolutely.
they have been really active in the transfer market. They should go for the league this time, but I just don't see it happening. Sorry.
They've also signed Mendy, who is a
Yeah.
obvious signing because of their keeping situation. So it will be really interesting to see how he's going to use Mendy. Their record signing, world's costliest keeper Kepa is on bench now. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good work when it comes to business for Chelsea. Spending 80
Exactly.
million on Kepa and benching him, not able to sell him. I don't think there'll be any bias for Kepa as well because of
Exactly.
his performance and because of the price tag and wages. So that's a tricky situation they are in right now.
Exactly. That's what we see in the present modern day football. I would say that you spend a lot of money on footballers, and then it's so difficult if they do not perform. It's always a gamble, right? So we have a
Correct.
situation with Ozil. You guys have a situation with Pogba. You don't know what's happening, and you somehow have to play them. We are not playing
Correct.
Ozil, but yeah, Kepa is a huge investment made by Chelsea. I think it's a 6 year contract or 7 year contract for
Yes,
him,
yes.
and
Yes. 6 year contract.
it's now they want to get rid of him. It's very difficult. So
Absolutely. So Chelsea won the game convincingly. Let's get on to the
yeah.
next game. Leeds United versus Man City. Haven't Leeds
Oh,
United impressed you so far? I'm just loving the game, man. It's so
oh
good.
my
They're
God.
playing so well.
They I actually have heard so much about the manager. I did not follow him before Leeds United. I didn't even I heard his name, but I did not know that he's so good. Like he's so regarded in world football, and since he was not in the Premier League, obviously I follow the Premier League
Yes.
a lot. So yes, I think I hope Leeds United stay in the Premier League because they are so good to watch. Free flowing football. I just hope. I think they're. I think they're very open. Very much
Absolutely.
like Arsenal in the old days. We were very open on the attack, and somehow I was very fearful about the defense. But how they would go ahead against a team like Mancity, who always press you and always attack from the front. But yeah, great result. I think they're already in the top half of the table, and they've already played Liverpool and City, and they have won
Correct.
both the games. Is it? No, they lost
Correct.
against Liverpool. Yeah,
They lost against Liverpool, a
which
narrow,
was a close game. Yeah. I remember.
yeah, 4-3. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yes,
open
as you
defense.
said,
They leave a lot of goals. That's what has happened.
they are a team who score a lot of goals, but I think if they solve their defensive issues, it will be really interesting to see. I see them as the Sheffield United of last season. They came in with zero expectations and then they underperformed in the starting. Then they were really good throughout the season and somewhere
Exactly.
finished around seventh. So Leeds is that team for this season. I feel they're doing
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah. Really want to have a close eye on them and see where they end up. I think they are more like they will surprise like Wolverhampton Wanderers. Like
Correct.
Wolverhampton got everyone by surprise. They were almost competing for Europa League. They
Correct.
unfortunately
Correct.
didn't out, but I think Leeds can be a team like that. And obviously they have history. They have always been performing pretty well in the Premier League until they got relegated. So
Correct.
yeah, I hope they do well. It's always good to have exciting teams, attacking teams, free-flowing teams in the Premier League. We all love that.
I was watching this game and I badly feel Man City are missing Aguero, man. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
see any prolific striker in the team now. Sterling is playing in the centre forward role. Jesus is kind of injured, and De
yeah,
Bruyne. somehow looks helpless suddenly to me because of the whole
Yeah,
formation changing. So the team doesn't look in great shape for me right now.
yeah. I'm always happy if Manchester City don't look in good shape, honestly.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
In the 82nd minute, I think Leeds had a chance. Patrick Bamford was one-on-one against Ederson, and he saved it. I was about to jump
yeah.
when he was about to finish. I think he should have finished that. It was an easy chance. But you see, Ederson is a very aggressive goalkeeper, and when it's one-on-one, good keepers are always on the higher position.
Yeah.
So Ederson did that.
Edison doesn't fear anyone. If you remember him versus Mane, that tackle.
Absolutely, yes. So he's a very
he,
aggressive.
he, yeah, he's almost like an outfield player. He's really good with
Correct.
the feet and with his throws and etc. He's
He's
a quality
he's
keeper.
he's the Premier League Manuel Neuer, I guess. He's playing like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
moving on to Arsenal,
Man City drew their game 1-1. Let's move on to Arsenal versus Southampton. No, who did Arsenal
no,
play?
it was Sheffield.
Yes,
Arsenal
yes,
versus
Sheffield.
Sheffield United. Yeah, I obviously I watched that game. To be really honest, I was very disappointed with the first half. I think Arsenal was very slow in their gameplay. I was not enjoying watching Arsenal actually. In the first few, they were not. They were controlling the game, but they were not trying to threaten the Sheffield goal until that move came from Bellerin, who gave a great assist,
Yes.
and it was beautifully slotted in by Bukayo Saka, his first goal of the season. Yeah, so it was a great it Bukayo Saka turned this half into a great one by his goal, and obviously then we saw the Nicolas Pepe show.
Oh,
He
what a goal.
came in and I mean he terrorized the Sheffield United defense on the right wing. I think brilliant. The only problem with Nicolas Pepe is the consistency. I think there's a lot of I love watching him. He does a lot of trickery. He has a lot of skills. He has pace. He can beat a defender. He can shrug his shoulders and move on to the next side. But I just hope he remains consistent. And if he does, he can have performances like these, what we saw in Sheffield.
Absolutely. I think addition of Willian is also helping him. You see, two
Yeah,
big players competing for that spot. It'll
yeah,
obviously improve him as well. I think
yeah,
Pepe
exactly.
is good now coming off from bench, and Aubameyang, of course, looked silent in this game. He wasn't
Yeah,
much in the game. I think there was some fatigue or something. He wasn't looking at his
yeah,
best. But I think
yeah,
that's how you guys should play. You cannot depend on Aubameyang for all the goals, and the
exactly.
other players needs to step up.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other hand, if you see Sheffield are really struggling this season, I think their defense, I think they played well against us. They controlled and they were decent against us. But I have watched them for the first couple of matches. I think they look hapless. Their defense is
Correct.
really, I think they're really weak this season. Everyone says that they're having a second season syndrome. So I don't see them progressing in this season's games, but
Correct.
nobody can predict too further. Anything can happen. They might come back after this
Correct.
international break as a different team, and let's see what they can do. Let's see whom they play next. Sheffield United. If you have the
Okay.
fixtures there, um, Sheffield United play Fulham. Oh, I think
Fulham.
that's I think
That's.
that's an easy 3-pointer, I would say,
I hope
considering
so.
Fulham's form.
If they can stop Mitrovic, I guess yes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good win for Arsenal. 3 points in the back.
Very good win for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to this game. Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Uh,
Oh my
I have
God. I mean,
no words to say about this game. Luckily, I'm not wearing United's jersey also today because I know I'll be under the hammer.
yeah, yeah. I think United suddenly have a lot of problems in the club. Uh, I always feel that the manager, I think Ole, as a temporary manager was very good thinking from the United boardroom. I think when you have an ex-player or ex-legend into the club, you can galvanize the players and bring in a lot of good vibes into the team. But giving him a permanent contract, I think that's where United got it all wrong because you cannot hand over someone who has been relegated from Premier League, like relegated
Correct.
from Premier League, and you cannot give him a job of leading a team like Manchester United, like the most successful Premier League team with a lot of Premier League history and titles, and who are trying to go to the next level, who are in transition, I would say. That's a huge task. You cannot give Ole that kind of a job. So, what do you think about it as a Manchester United fan? You can
I
confess.
think I think
What do
Ole
you
is
think?
fine. I think
Oh,
he has got the ethics back in the team. You see, we were spending so much money on big players and they weren't performing. But then Ole has got that old ethics of United of giving youngsters new chance. If we wanted, we could have gone for Jadon Sancho this season, but we didn't go because you see, paying so much money is not going to help us anyway. We have been very brutally hurt in that area. So I think this is a good step. United is fine. I think there's a lot of problem in the background with the board, with Ed Woodward, with the signings we have made. We haven't. Ole wasn't given any of his top four signings in this season. I think there are huge problem in the board, but I think Ole is fine. He's that guy who sticks with the team and make them feel together, and he's that manager who can take us, provided the board supports him well. In this game, I think it was very funny game to watch. You see, I had IPL game to watch as well on the day. I just switched the channels. I came back to Premier League. I saw Spurs leading 2-1.
yeah.
I couldn't understand what was happening. I think the whole morale went down after the second goal, after the red card,
You
and
must have been very
Spurs.
happy when you got the penalty right in the first minute.
Yes, yes, I was very happy. That's what we are depending on right now. Penalties is all we are getting, and Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandes is a penalty specialist. He's converting them, but I don't want to rely on penalties. I don't want them to score just penalties, which they have been doing all the time. I
exactly.
want the game to be more open, and I feel Ole has to make some changes with his formation and tactics. I don't see Pogba as a deep line midfielder. He has to bring him
Yeah,
up there,
yeah.
and we haven't signed Donny van der Beek to play Carabao Cup and FA Cup. He has to be in there. There should be some way he needs to find because he's a very cheeky player. He has a lot of passion and heart for the game. He's very fast and he has got some great moves in the game. He is very good in between the lines. So I think Donny has to play. Who will sacrifice is the question. I think that's a big call Ole has to make. And Pogba has to go as an attacking midfielder and not as a defensive midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder.
I think even your defense is pretty crap, man. I mean, whom do you have? Any team would love to play against Manchester United right now. Their defense is almost there's
Correct,
nothing there. There's nothing.
correct. I think Maguire is having a bad time. He needs to be benched for some time, get his
Exactly.
head clear. He had a lot of issues off the football ground as well. I think he needs to settle down mentally and come back into the game. We have
Yeah,
some good young talents
because
in.
Maguire
Yeah,
was not this bad in Leicester City, if you remember. Like
correct,
he was
correct,
pretty
correct,
good. He was pretty good.
correct. So I think we have to give some chances to youngsters. We have got some good youngsters in Twanzebe and Mendy. I think they should be given some chances because you see the likes of Maguire and Bailey are also conceding 6 goals. So we won't be shocked if
Yeah,
they concede 2 goals, but they should be given some chance. I
yeah.
think we
But
have
to be
made a
honest,
fantastic signing in Alex Telles. I'm looking forward
oh,
to seeing him. He's a fantastic player, I feel. A proper Brazilian left back with lots of skills, something United have been lacking for a very long time now. Attacking
okay,
left back or a full
yeah,
back. I think Luke Shaw has been pretty good. I won't be harsh on Luke Shaw, but I think someone like Alec Taylor should come in there. He has a great record, 23 odd goals and 58 assists in his last 3 seasons. I think that's a great record. I think he should step up. So
yeah.
what you were telling something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that again. There was a turning point in the game also, right? The Martial red card and
Yes.
the way the situation was handled there. I think that was. I think if you're sending one, you should send both. Like there was nothing much.
Absolutely, yes.
Uh, there's nothing much that was happening there. The
Correct.
the lot of drama by Lamela there, and yeah. But again,
Absolutely.
even if you're playing with 10 men, you cannot just ship 6 goals against a
Correct.
team that's on.
Absolutely. That cannot be an excuse. Absolutely.
Exactly.
United
Yeah.
were terrible. I don't see United playing great. I hope they find
Yeah.
some miracle in Edison Cavani and Alex Telles. They need to step up. They have some heavy fixtures coming up: PSG, Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal. I'm just scared what they're going to do. They need to get this out, man. I'm really scared what United is going to do. And
Yeah.
we have the group of death in Champions League. It's really difficult to see. I think Martial is off colors now. He's not looking great. He's very inconsistent. He's a wonderful player, but his consistency
Yeah.
is the main issue. He scores when he wants, but he doesn't want to score a lot of time. He just stands in there as a number 9. So I think Cavani is a great addition in that way. He has a lot of experience.
Yeah, talking about the difficult fixtures, I think you have one against Newcastle away from home.
Yes,
So I think that's tough too. As you know, Newcastle have made some good signings there, and they are in pretty good form lately. So
correct.
Steve Bruce is trying to get the team gelling well there. So let's see how Manchester United go on.
Absolutely, it was a terrible game to watch. Credits to Spurs and Jose Mourinho.
Yeah,
They capitalized on everything we gave, on every mistake, and they played pretty good football. They were playing safe football. They didn't work
yeah,
hard. We were giving them everything, so it was a pretty easy game for them.
yeah.
Pretty easy
You
away.
kind of gifted the game away to them, and
Absolutely, absolutely.
I I'm just thinking if what if Gareth Bale was playing that game. So I don't know what would have been the scoreline.
I,
So yeah.
I'm very happy he wasn't there around.
Okay,
So quickly moving on to the next game, which I want to talk about after a heavy defeat
sure.
from you
Go ahead.
see Spurs, Liverpool versus Aston Villa, full time 7-2. To all the fans out there who thinking Liverpool scored 7, it was Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Oh my goodness.
What did we just watch out there, man?
I mean, I think it looked like a PlayStation game. The way the Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa striker, bought from Brentford. I think good signing. Spent a lot of money on him, but the way he was scoring goals, like I thought there was no Liverpool defense at all. And uh, yes, you can have off games. Like Liverpool have been really consistent to their credit. They have won around, I don't know, I think more than 50 games at home. That's
Correct.
their consistency. But if you have an off day, you don't play like that. Like that was a joke happening there. I mean, I don't know what happened. 7-2 against Aston Villa, who barely managed to be in the Premier League last season. And
Correct.
great performance from Jack Grealish too. I mean, he was
Oh,
sensational.
um,
What a player!
I
What
think
a player!
their their new player, their Loney Barkley had a fantastic
Was
game as
Barkley.
well.
Yeah, yeah. Good
Yes.
signing, I would say. Good signing.
I was speaking to a lot of Liverpool fans, and they were telling Mane wasn't playing. Mane nahi khel raha tha. I think that's not a reason you have. You have star-studded team. You have Diego Jota, who's no a small player. I think he's pretty
That
good. He had
team
a good
should
game as well.
beat Aston Villa any day. That Liverpool team.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So
And
those are
I feel the whole defense were horrible on the day.
yeah.
I always feel Trent Alexander Arnold is not a great defender. He must be a crazy guy going up there, but when it comes to defense, he's not very good. I'll be
Yeah, as you
brutally
can see,
honest.
he's not playing for England. Gareth Southgate
Yes,
hasn't saved him as a regular right back. So yeah.
correct. There's a reason behind it. He's not good when it comes to defensive duties. He
Yeah.
can assist a lot. We all know that he can take good free kicks. He can score a lot of goals, but the primary job has to be done as well. And the
Exactly.
way Jack English was bullying around in the left flank
Oh,
was fun to watch. And Gomez had a pretty bad game, some sloppy mistakes from him. Van
exactly.
Dijk, of course, had a bad game. I think the whole team had a bad game. Adrian hardly could have saved anything. I won't blame him. He had nothing to do. There were 3 goals which were deflected in, and he couldn't have stopped any of them.
I'm really surprised that in this transfer window nobody went behind Jack Grealish. I think how can you have
Ah,
such a great talent, such a great English talent, I would say. And I think he'll be a regular
Correct.
for England. Gareth Southgate was heavily criticized for dropping him against Denmark last night.
Correct.
So I think he's a great talent. I would have had him any time, any day, I would say, in Arsenal. I think that kind of a midfielder makes the game tick, and he can run with the ball, he can score goals, he can play in the wings, he can get the ball in through his crosses. I think he's a complete package. And yeah, he has signed a great new contract with Aston Villa. But yeah, I think teams have lost on not getting a talent like him. The big
I
teams,
think
I
his
would say.
price tag is one of those reasons.
Yeah, yeah,
Aston Villa have quoted them around 18 million, so that's a huge amount for someone like Jack Grealish. A lot of them say he's a one season wonder, but I don't think so. He was pretty good in the
no.
championship as well. He was very good in the last season. Now he's doing well. I hope he continues this form. If not in England, he can go somewhere else as well. He's doing pretty good.
Absolutely. I think that was a crazy game. Aston Villa winning the match by 7 goals to 2. But I'm sure that Liverpool is going to come back very strong against Everton, which we are going to
Oh,
talk about. Yeah, which we are
Everton
going to
had
talk
a game against Brighton which they won 4-2. I think Everton are playing beautiful football,
top
some
of the table,
amazing
man.
signings, top of the table, amazing football, proper team, amazing manager, such an experience out there. Beautiful
Amazing
football.
transfer window. I think the
Oh,
players whom they
absolutely.
have bought in. James Rodriguez, people say that he's done, he's over, he cannot adapt to the Premier League. Oh my God, I think I'm really missing out on not having him in my FPL team. I think he's
I
really
know,
good.
I know.
2 assists and a couple of goals, or one assist
Correct.
and a couple of goals. I think he's giving a
Yes,
lot back to the manager's faith shown in him.
absolutely.
And Ancelotti with the signings of Dupore, Allen,
Alan,
and
they
then
got
Rodriguez
Godfrey as well.
Godfrey. Godfrey,
Yes.
I think that's a great team out there. I'm scared of Everton. I just hope. See, Everton always comes into a new season with all this hype. Yeah, we have made
Correct.
a lot of signings. We have spent a lot of money. But this Everton team looks a bit different. And let's see how they do against Liverpool, because
Correct.
that's the kind of challenge you want this a team like Everton who are on a high. How do they cope up against a strong team like Liverpool who has faced an embarrassment in the last match? I think
Merseyside.
that would be a juicy game to watch. I would be surely looking out for that game.
Absolutely. I think Calvert-Lewin and Richardson have having great season as well. They have started
Absolutely.
well. Calvert-Lewin is scoring for fun, absolute fun.
Yeah,
He's playing with the defenders. I think they have a good lineup right now, and I think they're doing
exactly.
pretty well. But Merseyside derby is the real test for them right now against a very strong Liverpool who want to get back into the line and who want to come back out of that embarrassment. So it's really important to see how they play. They start of the week as well. There's the first
They
game, the Merseyside
they play
derby
the
is the
first
first
game.
game. So it'll be really amazing to see how this game goes. I'm really excited to see this game.
Absolutely. So that was the main matches covered there from game week 4. Apart from these games, Newcastle won. They are looking good now. They had a very good game against Burnley. They won 3-1, and it was also a convincing win for Southampton versus West Bromwich Albion,
Yes,
in which
yes, yes.
they got a clean sheet and won the match by 2-0. I think
Big goal.
special mention. Yeah, I was coming to that game. I think someone did manage to have goals on the racks there. I think also,
Correct.
I mean, just a 1-0 victory against Fulham, who are struggling to find their feet in the Premier League, against an
Yeah,
attacking team like Wolverhampton. Who knows?
correct.
Scott Parker might come back as a different manager after this break. I think sometimes when you lose a lot of matches, uh, a break is necessary, and you can come back. You can try to drill down the team and come back with new tactics in the next week. So yeah, that was
Correct.
all the matches there.
I think
It
we're
was a
missing
great
on
game.
one match. One
Which
good
one?
match we missed. West Ham 3, Leicester nil. I think West Ham
Oh,
had a poor start, but a good game against Arsenal, a fantastic game against Wolves, and now a great win against Leicester. This team is
yeah.
back on form. I think this. two couple of good players out there. Antonio is as well playing well. Jared Bowen, who's playing pretty well
Yeah,
right now. I
scored in
think this
consecutive
team,
matches. Bowen.
correct, correct.
But to be fair, I think Jamie Vardy was off color that game. He could have easily
Yes,
scored a couple of
yes,
easy goals. I mean,
yes,
a
yes.
striker of his class, I think he disappointed. He tried to chip one over the goalkeeper, which was
Correct,
terribly off the post. And I think Leicester have to get their act together. They cannot take teams like West Ham lightly, who are struggling, who have a lot of issues in their camp, a lot of issues upper in the upper management from the board, manager, etc. They cannot
correct.
take teams like West Ham lightly, and if they take them, this is what happens: a 3-0 convincing victory for West Ham United. I think this would really cheer them up and get them going for the next few games. That's what I believe.
I think Brendan Rodgers will be really disappointed after a terrific win against Man City and then
Yeah.
losing to West Ham would really bother them, I guess. And international break was much needed for them. I think it will be really exciting to see a lot of football action coming up. Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup. There's so much to come. So I'm hoping for
Exactly.
football packed action.
Yeah, so guys, first of all, thank you for all of you who have liked, shared, subscribed to our channel. We have already crossed 100 subscribers. We want to just get this number going up. And thank you for also following our Instagram page, where we post a lot of stuff on the regular updates about the English Premier League and, of course, the Indian Premier League in cricket. So a couple of exciting games coming up in game week 5. I think we start off with Liverpool versus Everton, the Merseyside derby. We also have Arsenal versus Manchester City, which would be again a great game. Arteta against Pep Guardiola, I think, back again. So that would be an interesting watch. Let's see if Thomas Partey plays. Who knows? That can actually strengthen the midfield of Arsenal. And also, Tottenham play West Ham United, so that's a London derby. So that's again a good game. So a lot of action, as you said, a lot of footballing action coming up for us, and we can only stay tuned and enjoy all the games. And to be honest, one game which I would also have a keen eye is Wolverhampton versus Leeds. I think two exciting teams coming up against each other. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. It will be a high scoring game, I feel. I'm looking forward to this week. Thank you so much, as Shubham said, for all the love and support. Keep watching us. I hope you guys are enjoying all the content from our side. There'll be a lot of fan interaction. I know I've been getting a lot of messages from a lot of supporters that when is our next fan interactions? We're coming up with that very soon. Stay tuned to the channel and enjoy all the sporting action, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.